So apparently, in Joe Burrow's Netflix documentary Quarterback Season 2, they kind of did Evan McPherson dirty. Now, if we're being honest, I think Evan McPherson did himself dirty last year by missing so many dang kicks. Beside the point. But they actually did do him dirty. Pretty much, they showed an angle of the Ravens game, the first one, where obviously is a bad snap, bad hold, and Evan McPherson's game-winning field goal is no good. That's because of a bad snap and a bad hold. It wasn't really Evan's fault. It was simply Ryan Renfro did not get the ball down in the correct way for him to kick it. Well, if you watch the actual footage, it doesn't show that. It just shows the angle from behind the end zone where you can't see past the offensive line. You can't see the, bad snap. You can really only see the missed field goal, which they did him dirty. Again, like I said, he did himself dirty by missing some, but that's beside. I love Evan McPherson, by the way. I love Money Mac. But I will say that it was a frustrating season, to say the least. Nonetheless, though, Joe Burrow did speak about it. He says, "I'm not a believer in yelling when somebody misses an assignment. What happens when I mess up? I'm not going to yell myself, and I wouldn't want somebody yelling at me." Okay. Feel like I agree. Listen, right? This is actually a Cincinnati Reds thing, I'm about to say. But to start off the season for the Cincinnati Reds, we were not doing good, okay? Our defense was good, our pitching was great, but our offense was dog crap. And our manager said, "What do you want me to do? Do you want me to yell at the guys?" Yelling at them is not going to cause them to hit more balls. It's not going to cause them to score more runs, right? So that same philosophy also was said by the Reds manager earlier this year. Now, obviously, since then, we've been a lot better at the Reds. Check out First Stop Reds. But, okay. It's the same philosophy at the end of the day that, yelling at someone and, belittling them to a certain degree is not going to cause them to play any better. Anything is just going to cause them to play worse because, as we know, with kickers, once it gets in your head, that's the most dangerous thing possible. Excuse me, Lordy. Once it gets in your head, that's the worst thing possible because then you start overthinking it. Then you start messing up because you're just thinking way too much, and you never want to be in that spot as a kicker. So, yeah, it's always dangerous whenever you start to kind of get into that mindset of overthinking it. And people yelling at you constantly about it isn't going to help in any way. Obviously, then it showed the short segment concludes with the Joe Burrow's press conference after he started off 1-4, where he says, "This is not where we want to be." Okay. I don't know why it popped up with that. After 11 minutes and 30 seconds on Cousins, 7 minutes on Goff, the show pivoted back to Joe Burrow. So this is actually a kind of weird thing. Apparently, Joe Burrow likes fossils. Yes, I know. He likes fossils. Like dinosaur fossils. Fossils you find in the ground from, prehistoric animals. This is so random, to be honest. But because fossils are cool, Burrow said, when aren't fossils on your mind? They go back millions of years. That's sick. So the whole point of this was during a practice, when he's practicing, that's what he's thinking about, right? Now, this just goes to show, kind of get into the brain meats of Joe Burrow here. That's how Joe Burrow thinks, okay? Joe Burrow isn't sitting there panicking, worried about 1,000 different things, worried about this, that, or a third. Some quarterbacks, they are. Some quarterbacks, they think way too much, and it gets them off their rhythm, it gets them off their game, always focus on a million different things. When in reality, you just got to clear your brain and just play football. And apparently, Joe Burrow thinks of random things when he's practicing and playing. Like fossils. Because, as Joe Burrow said, fossils are cool. Oh, man, I love Joe. Joe is, he is a special man. There is no quite number 2. It is Joe Shiesty as Joe Shiesty. He's a 101 truly out there. Guys, tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Make sure to like and subscribe button if you are indeed new. Make sure you check out First Stop Reds. And we are so close to the NFL season and, of course, training camp. So, we have survived the off season. Almost. We still have a little bit left. But, see you guys next one. Peace out.